This podcast is brought to you by Havoc Energy. Make sure you guys who are listening and tuning into this episode of the One Shot Podcast, make sure you guys head on over to tryhavocenergy.com and use code HAVOC for 15% off your order today. For today's episode, we have a very special guest. We had this episode planned in the works for a little while. I will be very honest. We were supposed to film this about a month ago. I'm not gonna lie. For a very great reason though. It was delayed. For a very great reason, it was delayed. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into that later on in the podcast. But we have my boy with a very unique name and a very unique setup. My boy DonkeyStyle. How are we doing today?
Dude, we're doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. I like doing these podcasts. I'm in a podcast type mood, so hopefully I don't stutter too much and this all goes great. But we're gonna do good. So, off the rip, because I just said DonkeyStyle, somebody's probably listening and like, what in the hell is this guy's name? So, to anybody who is very foreign to your name, all right? Oh my gosh, and I try to prevent that from happening. It happened anyways. So, for anybody who's listening right now, where did the inspiration for your name come from?
So long story, but I've been gaming since PS2 era. I mean, we could say a little bit of Super Nintendo, N64, but I really honed in on the gaming on PS2. Mm-hmm. So did the whole PS2 thing, loved the hell out of it, and then obviously the Xbox 360 came out, and like that was the big boom of online gaming. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, they still do it now, but when you load into Xbox, it's like, oh, here's a suggested gamer tag. It suggested tastiest donkey, and I was like, sold. So I was like, fuck, like, we'll just go with it. We'll just run with it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. And we ran with tastiest donkey for a long time. We're doing the Xbox thing. And then my best friend, I mean, I'm 30 now. I'm 31. He's 30. Mm-hmm. We've been friends since 5th, 6th grade. Mm. And he was always a PlayStation guy. I kind of just went with the flow. I got a 360 for Christmas. I'm not going to complain. Mm-hmm. He picked up the PS3. I ended up buying a PS3, mm-hmm. and I went to put tastiest donkey into the gamer tag bar, and it was like, oh, this name's taken. And I was like, first of all, who the hell took tastiest donkey?
Nah, crazy, not for real. Like,
yeah. And then I call him up, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, tastiest donkey's taken. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, my friend's gamer tag was Dodge Viper, then his birthday. So I don't know why the hell I called him thinking he would have ideas. But I guess I called him up and I was like, dude, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And like, he's just spitball. And then he goes, what about DonkeyStyle? And I was like, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
You might be onto something. For once, you might be onto something.
You know the craziest part is?
What's up?
Is I actually went away from DonkeyStyle for a while because I had this internal battle where I didn't think I would ever be taken seriously with the name DonkeyStyle because I wanted to be in the likes of like a competitive gamer. And in my head, I was like, you don't hear anybody with funny names as a competitive gamer. So I was like trying to do all these things. I was like, my name's going to be Vicious Extreme. And all like, dude, there's so many cringe names. And then like I went away from DonkeyStyle and I was Majin Berg. No. I was Burger Cheese first. Burga cheese, like cheeseburger, but burger cheese. Mm-hmm. And then I was that for a hot minute. And that was on Twitch too. Like I changed it everywhere. Man. Like, and then I went from Burger Cheese to Majin Berg because I'm a big Dragon Ball guy. Mm-hmm. Big Majin Vegeta guy.
We love Dragon Ball Z on the side too.
Okay. And then I rolled it back in, and then I've been DonkeyStyle for a while again.
It's crazy.
Dude, yeah.
It's crazy because I think the lighthearted names, like the sort of like the names that somebody aren't too serious, I respect those people a lot more. Because it's like, hey, like for example, like I may be scrolling on Twitch and I see DonkeyStyle. You're like, I might click on his name I might watch his stream just because of his name. Like I do that often. Like if they have an intriguing name, I'm gonna click on a name just because of their name.
Yeah.
Like if their name is like X dashes or Z something, I'm like, oh, this is another YY TikToker, I want to be GoPro kind of guy. But if it's like a lighthearted DonkeyStyle, it's like, all right, you can tell like he takes it seriously, but at the same time he has fun with it. That's kind of how I just view it. So like, I'm glad I went back to DonkeyStyle because it's like that's kind of what picked up for me.
No, because it's also like my personality. Like I always wanted to be like I want to be taken seriously. Blah blah blah. I have never been that. I've always been like the funny guy, like wanting to make people laugh. So like I just feel like I literally have a speed limit 69 and a live nude sign over my shoulder. Like if I had some kind of serious name, people would be like, okay, I'm confused. I got an eggplant here. Like what are we doing? What are we doing? But yeah, no, I like to make people laugh. I like to have a good time, and I feel like that my name shows that because you see that and you're like, all right. Like don't get me wrong. When it comes, I mean, I freaking have damn near retired from Call of Duty. But when it came to Call of Duty, I was try hard as it could be. Like, try hard. Like, but, dude, I've been Call of Duty for as long as I'm since my Call of Duty 4. Like, I've been Call of Duty. And I haven't, since the Vandal update, I've touched it under 5 times, and Me 2 too. Of those times were just to test my frames because I got a new setup in the PC.
I'm telling you, man, it's we have just to sum it up for what I'm about to say. It's just not it, but I'm gonna say it anyways because like I have so many talks with so many other content creators I have, and we're just like I see people like I understand what most people say like this is my profession, I have to make content XYZ, but then I'm at the point where it's just like. I was thinking like that during Rebirth. Like after a while when it just became sort of stale at one point, I was like, okay, I'm just making content for the sake of making content. I hop on and play for the sake of content. But now it's like Warzone 2 is, in my honest opinion, it's so bad to the point where it's like, I won't even play this for content.
No, you can't make content. Like the thing is if you like a gunfight, you can't even get away from. It's just like back in the day, like Rebirth, you could just finagle your way around, or you could just you could get out of situations. Now, like you can get out of the situation, but like you can't get out of the situation.
Exactly.
Like you can get away, but if they have any map sense whatsoever, you're dead.
Literally, like I was watching Rebirth. Like I have it's weird because I have more Warzone 1 footage on my PC. I can make Warzone 1 content for weeks. I can't make shit with Warzone 2, and they're just stashed on my computer, just sitting there. So I'm like. One day on stream, it was literally yesterday on stream, we were watching like a few clips I had, and it's crazy because we used to make the most illogical challenges. Like we'd see 4 people and we think 4 kills. Like they could be Navy SEALs. We're still like this is 4 kills, and somebody's like, you know you could die, right? No, I'm not dying. I'm going to push this.
No, I'm pushing. We're pushing this.
I'm pushing this. That's literally how it used to be. We used to see 4 people, and I'm like, 4 kills. But now it's like, I see 1 guy. If I see 1 more person, I panic. Because I'm like, well, what the fuck?
If I see 1 guy, I'm like, it's 50-50.
Exactly. It's 50-50. 1 guy is 50-50. Because, like, I remember there was one time I got into a gunfight, game started lagging. 600 ping, 10 frames, died. I'm like, well, well, I thought 2 was too much. Now 1's too much. So it's just like,
oh, dude, it's and like the update that the most recent update dropped today. Oh no, yesterday. And I've heard horror stories. I logged on today for the first time, and I looked at because I like they dropped the boys skins and Starlight, and I was looking at the character, and I'm like, her face looks a little off. And then like I just feel like there's just such a dark cloud over the Call of Duty community. Like everybody is just so negative right now. Yeah. Because there's nothing to be positive about. So they all like there's nothing positive when it comes to Call of Duty. You log in, you're mad. You go on Twitter, people are mad about something. Like it's just there's no positivity in that community whatsoever. So how are you supposed to make fun, positive content when there's not even a positive aspect in the game?
Yeah, and the only people that make content are one trying to make any sort of controversial content, or it's like they clip anything that's like nostalgic, so to speak. Like one guy we had on here previously, his name is Naz. Nas, I call him both sometimes. I kind of interchange between the two. But we had him on here for episode, and he makes all nostalgia content. Like, sometimes you see him streaming on TikTok, he'll play, like, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 3, and all of his content relates to, like, things about COD maps, like, old COD guns, the best guns out of certain games, and it's like, and when you look through his comments, it's all positivity. Well, I mean, there's one or two jackasses. You just can't help it with TikTok. It's always like those people, but it's like all positivity. It's like this is the one source of positivity from this content, and it's sad that it's like now it's like they almost are trying to like eliminate that entire like nostalgic fan base, because for one, the games are like what I think they're on sale now, but at one point, all of those older Call of Duties were $60.
Oh, I know. I bought one of them at that price, and I'm not proud of it. I bought Black Ops 3 because it was my favorite one, and I was like, dude, it was because like there was like a TikTok trend going for about a week where people were like on playing it, and like I was like a freaking beast at that one. It was my favorite one with the freaking the jetpacks and everything. Black Ops 3 with the freaking I loved the sonar pulse where you could see everybody where everybody was.
Vision pulse.
Yep, I was always a vision pulse guy. Because like I'd much rather know where they are than have an overpowered weapon, because I know in my brain I'm like I can outshoot them. I just got to know where they are.
Exactly.
So, dude, I love that. And when you say nostalgia, dude, I went through a phase like you see all this crap down here. Mm-hmm. Like that's mostly Xbox 360 and PS2, because I just went on a phase of just wanting to buy all the games like from when I was little, and I was like, dude, like these are the games that like made me happy. Like I'm looking over my shoulder now. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Jack and Daxter, but that
mm-hmm.
Jack and Daxter, one of my favorite games of all time. Looking right at that, dude. That just most of those games over there is just games that I was like, you know what, these games brought me happiness then. So like, I just buy them for that little bit of nostalgia.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean,
dude,
go ahead.
Like, no, dude, my TikTok algorithm right now, I've been getting hit with because I'm a '90s baby. I was born in '91, and dude, I stumbled onto like a nostalgia algorithm, and dude, like I don't know why, but it just genuinely makes me happy. Like I get a feeling inside when I scroll, and I'm scrolling through the pictures of like, I'm like, holy, but then but in the same breath I'm like, I'm also really freaking old. Holy shit. Like it's like a double-edged sword. I'm like, yeah. Oh, my childhood. Oh, fuck, my childhood. That's so long ago.
That was so long ago. Holy shit.
Like, dude, when I sit back and think about it, like, I lived through cassette players, CD players, MP3 players, iPods, and now we're on iPhone. Like, and it's the same thing with VHS tapes. Like, I got VHS tapes down there. I got some random ones that I just kind of collected. Like, it's just crazy to think that, like, I don't know what generation you are, but like I'm like one of the few generations that like I'm the last one that's gonna know what a home line is or what AOL is and all that crap. And it's just like, it's just crazy to think about that. Like I like get off the internet. I have to use the phone. Like back in the day. Like
yeah, bro. I was born in 01, so like all the stuff you're saying, I'm still even familiar with that. Like
okay.
AOL, American Online, and then on top of that, like we used to have house phones.
Yep.
Think about it. Like I remember I was just driving and I'm like, I really used to have a house phone. Like that's just random intrusive thought.
Think about it. Like I don't know if you remember payphones.
Oh yeah.
Remember? Could you imagine payphones during COVID? Like, like those aren't gonna get.
A lot of people, everybody got masks on, just waiting. I was like, hey, like, bro, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, dude. Like just thinking about it, like.
Man,
just random stuff like that. Like a payphone couldn't exist during COVID. No one's going to be touching that thing.
Absolutely no, bro. There's going to be one guy with gloves and imagine that. Like, there's got to be one person standing there cleaning off the phone after each customer, or everybody goes there with masks and gloves. I'm like, bro, that would be crazy to think about.
Yeah, man.
That honestly would be. And man, I mean, the point that you made where you said we lived through like watching movies on DVDs, like tapes, then CDs. MP3 players, like you had to like illegally get songs from the internet onto your phone.
Oh, you got to give your computer the version of like syphilis just to get a freaking Smash Mouth All Star. You're like, I want Smash Mouth All-Star. Your computer's like, well, now you have computer herpes. So enjoy that. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just know I got Smash Mouth on my iPod Shuffle. That's all I know.
I got the song though, but at what cost? I mean, I don't know. I can't turn on my computer anymore. It's all this bullshit on here now.
The Russians know his shirt's history. Please do not release that to the internet. 13-year-old me was into some shit.
Man. We were into some shit when we were younger, man. That's crazy to think, bro.
Dude.
But it's just crazy thing because it's like, bro, like, there are people that are growing up now that grow up with, like...
They get it. They come out the womb with an iPad.
These kids are like 10.
Dude, they come out the womb with an iPad immediately.
They're like 10, iPhone 12. The phone generation is older than you. Like, this is crazy.
Dude, I remember my first cell phone. And I remember because, like, I bought, it was a prepaid one, and I'd use all my minutes, and I'd buy ringtones because I didn't have anybody to talk to. So I'm walking around with like the Michael Myers theme song on my phone. I got all this random ass shit. No one's calling me. I got like $100 worth of ringtones. No one's calling me. No one. But like, I was like, I got a cell phone. But yeah,
exactly. Man, bro, what? Dude, you just trigger like of just. I had like a Jimmy Neutron moment just now, bro, because I'm like, what?
Freaking brain blast?
Brain blast, bro. Because I used to have a flip phone, bro. I used to have freaking so many ringtones. Like, now I have the same ringtone. I'm just like, whatever.
I honestly think people who keep their phone on loud are psychopaths.
Really?
My phone has not been on loud, and I could not tell you how long. Like,
my phone is most of the time, I'll be honest.
Mine's always on silent. It's like on vibrate. 99.9% of the time on vibrate.
You know what's a crazy fact about me, bro? For a decent period of time, before life became hella stressful as an adult, I used to have an alarm with no ringtone. It just vibrated, and I woke up to that.
Oh wow!
So like it would be like I'd be on my bed, phone would be like on a table somewhere. I just hear it vibrate, and I wake up. I could have 2 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, 10 hours of sleep. I wake up when I hear it regardless. It was the weirdest. Because sometimes this thing will be going off for like 30 minutes. I don't wake up anymore. But I'm like,
oh yeah, no.
I'm like, dude, how did I pull that off, bro? Like, that is,
dude. My phone will be somewhere, like, and I don't know. Like, my wife's 4 years younger than me, and like back in the day, I could hear anything, anywhere, always. And then like my wife would be like, "Is your phone vibrating?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know."
Like, I don't
Why
know.
would I know that? She's like, "I can hear it," and I'm like, "You can hear vibration?"
I promise you, bro. Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah. But, I mean, but also like I would lose my head if it wasn't attached.
True.
Like, I lose everything. Like, so, like I've been streaming full time for like the last year and a half ish. But before that, I was full time. I worked 9.5 years for Pepsi. Like working in the grocery stores and stuff. Every single day for those 9.5 years, it was a battle of where's my wallet, where's my keys every morning.
Yep.
That shit would be on a different floor. The keys and the wallet would each be on a different floor, and then they wasn't. Yeah, they'd be like to the point that like when I first started dating my wife, she bought me these things. She's like, attach this to your key ring and put this in your wallet, and it literally would like chime where the hell it was. Like now. Like we have me like she trained me. I'm a fucking dog.
You got trained.
I put my wallet and my keys on a key rack right when we walk in. Because if I don't, we don't find them. Like don't, and I do. But it's I also have like really really bad ADHD and stuff. So like I'm just constantly all over the place. Like I have a calendar on my phone that I'm supposed to log stuff that I got to do because the amount of times that I'd make plans, like I had a thing for the podcast in my phone today. Because if I didn't have that, like I would have been like, you'd have been like, "Hey man, you ready?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm totally ready." As I'm running upstairs, butt naked, putting clothing on.
But we were set today, though.
Oh, we were. I woke up. I was like, I knew that this is planned. But yeah, no, dude. Like I would lose my damn head if it wasn't attached.
Hey, I mean, hey, that's fire though. Because I mean, I have this weird thing to where it's like I don't like things when they're organized. It's kind of weird. Like if they're too organized, I don't know where anything is. So it's like let's say, for example, I'm about to leave the house. If I know that my wallet is somewhere on my bed under a certain pillow, I'll remember that for some odd reason.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like if it's in a little, like like a little box to where everything's supposed to be, I'm not gonna remember that it's there. I don't know why. Like, which is why it's like I have this weird way of it's like, oh, I know it's there in that weird odd location. I remember it every single time. It's weird.
I love it how like I'll lose my wallet and my keys, and my wife will be like, "Do you know where the red screwdriver is?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's in the basement next to this, by this, behind this, underneath this." And she's like, "But you don't know where your wallet is."
Nope. I was like, nope.
No idea.
It could be on the table next to me, and I'm like, I didn't know it was right there.
Nope.
It'd be crazy. It's weird the way our brain works. It's like, it's just
100%.
It's weird. It's crazy the way the human brain works, man. It is crazy. It is so crazy.
Absolutely.
So, real quick, question today, right? In terms of your whole process for, on top of just streaming and on, because I know you said where your name originated from, but at what point at the time, because we all watch content creators, like we may watch maybe Scump, maybe it's Vanoss Gaming or whoever it might be when we're starting off, like watching YouTube or watching Twitch streams initially. At what point did you say, this content stuff, I can do it too? Because we all know that it exists, but we all know that it's out there. But what was the turning point where you're like, I can do this too, and I'm going to start doing it? What was that point for you?
I couldn't honestly tell you. One day I just woke up and I was like, I want a gaming PC. Like, my first gaming PC, it was top of the line when I bought it. And I never even played a PC game on it. Like, it was top of the line, and I was so hardcore console. So like back in the day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna do this streaming thing, and I like. It may be crazy.
Just let it fly.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is like, there are still days where I'm like, is it for me?
I think about that. I think that's, you know, you're, as crazy as that may sound, you're not alone, bro. Because sometimes I get up too, and I'm like, should I be? I have this like weird thing to where it's like, what if I was just like never upload a video? What would I be doing now? What if I were to be like some like crazy?
That's the thing is like, I don't have an option. So like this is my job. This is what I am doing. If I cease to do this, I'm going to a warehouse. So whenever I get down bad about content, it's like, all right, well then shut everything down and go apply at a warehouse. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. So like that's the fire under my ass, is like, I am not a 9-to-5 guy. Like, even when I worked at Pepsi, I wasn't a 9-to-5 guy. I was like, because it's just not how it worked. Like, it was like, you go out there, you do your thing. You're like, I had freedom, and I had freedom for 9.5 years, and now I have freedom again in what I'm doing. But like, I also enjoy what I do. But the alternative to what I'm doing now is that if you fail, you're going to a 9-to-5. You're going to a warehouse. You can still do this, but you're not going to have the free reign that you're going to have. Like, yeah, like I'm 31. I could go to I know school's not for me. It's just not. So like,
did you ever, sorry to cut you off, did you ever like attempt like college at all?
I did a semester, and I can't do essays. I can't do book work.
Oh God.
I would rather staple my balls to a wall. Like, it's just not for me. It's just not my brain. Like, I would have to either go to a trade school. I would have but like, even then I'm like, okay, but if I were to have to go to a trade school, I'm gonna have to work alongside that, which means I can't stream at all, because I gotta pay for stuff. I'm gonna have to pay for the trade school. I'm gonna have to pay for bills. I'm gonna have to do this. So therefore, streaming goes out the window. So like, my brain is, it's this, which you are happy. You get to make your own schedule. Like, you're living most people, a lot of gamers' dreams.
Exactly.
So you have to push forward and do this, or enjoy FedEx. Not that there's anything wrong with FedEx.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
That's just not for me.
And that's the thing I tell myself too, because it's like, sometimes I'm like, I let's say I wake up and I'm like, bro, if I have to stare at my editing software today, I feel like I'm going to throw up. But then I sometimes tell myself, and I'm like, because currently at the moment I'm still in college, right? I have one more year and then I finish up. So it's like, even though I'm in college, I know somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm like, this, whatever I'm graduating, this degree that I'm graduating with, whatever job I can possibly get when I graduate, it's not going to be what I want to do until the day I die. It's not, which is why I post content so much, which is why sometimes I may take that one L on an assignment to make some content, either shoot a podcast, get a stream up, because it's like how you just mentioned. It's like, okay, you don't want to edit videos. Okay, well then go, like how you mentioned, go work that 9 to 5, or go work that job, or go work that warehouse job, or go study those college textbooks, go write those essays, go do those projects, go code in Python, HTML, SQL for hours. And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, I'd rather complain about this than, because the alternative is viable still. Like we had just mentioned, there's nothing wrong if you want to be a coder, a programmer, maybe you want to work.
Nothing wrong with it at all. That it's a perfectly fine, it's a great way of living. They get paid pretty damn well. I just know it's not for me. Mm-hmm. I know the way my brain works. Like, my wife said when we, like, she's just like, when we first started dating, we just talked about the other day, she's like, she was like, yeah, when I got together, you were like just content at being Pepsi for the rest of your life. And I was like, because in my brain, that's all my life. Like, I was at Pepsi from 2 weeks after I turned 21 till right till I almost turned 30. Like, that was, wow. So 33% of my life was at that company. So I was like, yeah, I mean, that. What do you mean that's why wouldn't I be content with it?
Yeah, it's hard to know anything else after that.
Yeah, my bills are paid. I make decent money. My body hurts, but like, isn't it supposed to? Everybody that does this shit says their body hurts. So I'm like, in my brain, it was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. And then I got let go from Pepsi. And she said, why don't you just do this full time? And I was like, I don't know if I can. She's like, I think you can do it. Everybody else is telling you can do it. Just do it.
And I'm like, somebody tell you that.
Oh, 100%. She's like, I know it's going to be some growing pains. She's like, I can take care of us. Blah, blah, blah. Like, she was making good money at the time. And I was like, I'm not going to say no. Why would I say no to literally my dream? And she's just like, yeah, ever since then, like, your mood, you've been so happy. Like, it's, how could I not be? Mm-hmm. I sit at home with my pets all day and play video games and entertain people, make people laugh. Like, why? Like, they're like, the only job that's better than that might be a comedian. Like, I do not have the freaking confidence to be a comedian.
It's scary.
But like,
it's scary.
I couldn't imagine. Just like when they talk about, like, I don't listen to podcasts anymore because I don't have the time. Mm-hmm. Like when I worked at Pepsi, oh my God, that's all I did because I was on my own. Mm-hmm. So I had podcast. I was either on the phone or had a podcast in my ear. Mm-hmm. Like now I try to catch them when I can, but like I don't like. So I'll listen to a podcast when I'm on road trips but like, I'm in this chair 90% of the time hanging out in a Discord call or do it. You can't listen to a podcast while you're editing stuff because you got to listen.
Exactly. Like I try to do that so many times because I'll be playing music and I'll be editing and then I'm like, hold on, I got to pause the music. I'm like, hold on, play that back. Okay, that's where the area is. Because it's like if I try to listen or if I try to like, let's say there's a certain point to where, I don't know, it's like a few, like let's say for example, I'm trying to split a clip. There has to be a few seconds or a few frames after I complete the word and then I split it. And I'm trying to figure out that right point to split it. And I can't figure it out if I got like music blasting at max volume. So it's just like, hold on, I gotta pause this, bro. Like that's why it's even hard for me to listen to music most of the time. If I'm like working or editing on videos, it's hard to. And then
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
And then even if I'm like making thumbnails, for some odd reason, like if I gotta zoom in, I pause the music still, even though I'm not listening for anything. Because for some reason, it's like, it like clouds my focus for some reason. Yeah. Because it's like the music I listen to is not serious. Like I'm listening, like I'll listen to like Chief Keef at like noon or something like that, making thumbnails. I'm like, okay, this is like diverting my focus. I gotta pause this right quick. But real quick, another question. With podcasts that you used to listen to, which podcasts do you listen to? Like generally?
So there was one video game podcast I listened to. That was, I forget what it was called, but it's like kind of how I got all my video game news. I don't remember it. I don't remember the video game one, but I would listen to a lot of comedy ones. So I'd listen to like Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. Mm-hmm. I would listen to Congratulations with Chris D'Elia. I did a lot of Joe Rogan back in the day, and then I kind of fell out of that one because once he went to Spotify, it kind of got a little weird and less convenient to listen to, in my opinion. I would do Pat McAfee. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Pat McAfee at all, but like that's the one I still pay attention to these days. Trying to think what else I would listen. Like I had a whole. Like it depends on like it also depended on some of the guests that they had on. A big one I was into was Fighter and the Kid, another comedy podcast. But yeah, no, I used to listen to that and audiobooks were like a big thing.
I've had like a few audiobooks but I never went with like full on nerded out with like audiobooks. But that's something I definitely need to get back into because it's so convenient to do like while I'm like working out or while I'm working or something like that. It's just convenient to like have a book, understand and interpret everything, but without like holding a book in one hand and trying to like do bicep curls in another hand. So it's like,
oh yeah. And then like for me, like I would just listen to like Gears of War. They have a whole bunch of novels, and I would be like,
that's fire.
It's easy. So I went through those. I went through a few biographies, like stuff like that. Like I get very, very weirdly into things like right now, I not right now. I've actually been into it for a while, but I got back into WWE.
Nice.
But like, and I enjoy watching the product and stuff. But I usually only watch the live events. But I absolutely love the documentaries. Like I love that behind the scenes stuff. Like I like to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with like like movies and stuff. Like if I'm very into like a movie, like I don't know if you've ever heard of The Evil Dead.
No, I have not.
The Evil Dead's like I want to say it's 80s horror, like a horror franchise.
Okay.
And I got like real big into that. So I was listening to like the one guy, his name is Bruce Campbell. He's like a B movie icon. Like he's like everybody knows him. Like if you're into like slasher, he's like one of those well-known people. And like I got real into that. And then I started like watching I listened to his biography. I went and met him, like all this stuff. Like that's just like I for some reason when it comes to things that I hyper focus on, I like more behind the scenes stuff than I do like
because it shows the process of how things are made. You know what I'm saying? Like we're used to the finished product, but to see like somebody doing it with no animation, they'll show you like, okay, this is how this scene played out with no animation. Just show some guy with a suit on and he's doing these weird moves, and then they say, "All right, cut," and it's so weird to see because it'll be silent, and then they're like, "All right, cut," and then it's like when they show the after, it's like, wow, we went from this to this. And that
100%.
discrepancy is just like what's so intriguing about it. And I like that you mentioned WWE because I think you have like a belt behind you, if I'm not correct.
I have 3.
3.
Yeah, I have 2. Well, one's a current belt, but they just retired it. I don't know if they retired it. It's weird because the one guy, they unified his belts and gave him a new belt, but then his guy that walks out with him still has the 2 other belts that were unified. I don't know. But I have that one. I have what got me into WWE is when I was little. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like just that's another thing. So there are 2 movies that if I put on, my wife immediately rolls her eyes because I need background noise to fall asleep. And the 2 are Talladega Nights with Ricky Bobby. It's a Will Ferrell movie about NASCAR that I just think is hilarious. I'm not even that big of a NASCAR fan, just love that movie. But apparently I watched it too much. And the other one is there's a 3-hour-long Stone Cold Steve Austin documentary. And if I put that on, she just gives me the eyes.
It's like, this again. Holy shit.
Yeah. But like, so I have so when he was champion back in the 90s, he got his own version of the belt. And it's called like the Smoking Skull belt. So it's like the Stone Cold Steve Austin belt. So I bought that one. That was the first one I bought. And then the other one I bought a replica one that's from the 90s also because, fun fact, WWE used to be called WWF.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and then there's like the World Wildlife Foundation is also the WWF, and there was a huge lawsuit, and by the World Wildlife Fund, or I think it's something like that, they ended up winning, so the WWE had to change their name to the WWE. But in the process, they can no longer put WWF on anything. So like any merch you buy, like even my Stone Cold Steve Austin belt, like back in the day, it said WWF on it. Now it just says WW because they can't put that F. But the one belt I have, like there are still people that make them, and I don't know how they get away with it. But I bought the belt from that era of like it's called the big Eagle belt, and it has a WWF on it. And I like it just for that reason, just because like you can't buy that.
Can't get it anywhere else. It's just one of them things. It's like you have it or you don't have it. It's like that exclusive.
And this is how my brain works. Is like I like to have shit that people can't get. I don't know what it is about the exclusivity, but like if I see like I'm not even that big into Funko Pops. But like my collection is worth a decent amount because like I'm like don't get me wrong, like all the ones I have, like back here I have.
Which ones do you have? Let me see.
That one's Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War, and that one's a Comic-Con exclusive. I have Patrick Bateman, but that's from American Psycho. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that movie.
I'm not actually.
It's a very, very good movie.
You know what's terrible about me? I don't watch movies often. And everybody that's in Team Havoc gets on me every single time for this, especially Shields, Mikey. I know y'all listening to this. It's crazy because they'll make a movie reference. It's so funny because like Shields will be talking, right? And he throws in a random movie reference. And the whole Discord would be silent. And he's like, you haven't watched that movie, haven't you? And I'm like, what movie? Just like, oh God, we got to do this again. I'm like, because the way I grew up, right? Like, I don't think I watched my first movie till I was like 10 or something like that. Because I was so confused. I'm like, why is it like an hour for like one episode? But then I'm like, oh, like people really watch movies for real. And then it's like, my parents didn't watch movies. So I never really grew up watching movies. And it's like, when I start talking to other people, it's like, everybody's like, they know this movie, they know that movie. And I'm like, it's still confusing. That a dog?
That's a cat.
Cat. Okay. All right. That's.
Oh yeah. No. They run the stream. I have a cat right here, and I got 2 dogs behind me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have 6 animals in this house. We have 4 cats, 2 dogs.
Wow.
Yeah. This one right here, she's not really making herself known. She just wants attention. I've had her since she was a kitten. She's 13. I've had her since I was like 18 or 19.
Nice. It's like a core member of the family at this point.
Oh, absolutely. She's the baby.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, you were talking about movies and everything. But yeah, like that one is Patrick Bateman, and that's Christian Bale.
No.
Batman from The Dark Knight.
See, I haven't even watched up to that. Like,
you haven't seen The Dark Knight?
Bro, I'm like,
bro, that's an iconic movie.
Look, everybody who's watched this is going to be upset at me. I'm going to get messages after this on Instagram, and people are going to text me like, Ranks, there's no way you haven't watched it. I'm like, no, I just haven't. Because it was just hard for me to, like, get into it. So it's like.
All right, well, long story short, really good movie. So I have Marcus Phoenix, Patrick Bateman from that. I got Winter Soldier from Captain America, and then there's a couple behind there. Like I got a Yu-Gi-Oh one back there.
Nice.
Yeah, I got Maximilian Pegasus. If you're familiar, Pegasus is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character.
Nice.
I don't know why, because he's absolutely ridiculous, but like he was always my favorite.
That is fire. No, but the point where you had made where you say you just like exclusive stuff. Nah, I mean I'm also like that too. If I have this and I'm like, I know that, not even trying to like, it's not even like an egotistical thing like, oh, I have it, you don't. No, it's not exactly that. It's just like the fact that I have it, and it's like somebody asks, how did you get it? And it's like, they can't even say, oh, I'm going to go get it too because I wanted to. But it's like, no, you just can't.
So like, you have that? Like, what? How the...
It's mind-blowing. Like, it's perfect, bro.
Like that, like these cases back here, like the glass cases, I have 3 of them, and they're all filled with like cool shit, like semi, like I have the God of War 2018. I just realized
their systems. Oh, their game system. I just realized.
Oh yeah. That's Gears of War 3 Xbox 360, Gears of War 4 Xbox One, Slim. They got weird names, and then this is the Gears of War 5 Xbox Series X, and then this one down here is the Batman Arkham Knight PS4.
Wow. Yeah. So in terms of like the 4 consoles, like I don't even want to say why, but it's like how can we have like all 4 like set up like in the cases? Like is that like were we just like collecting them at the point? Or?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Gears of War and a huge Batman fan. Gotcha. Like it's to the point that whenever the next Gears of War comes out, they're probably going to release a console, and I'm literally just going to buy it to put it in that case. I'm not going to play it because it'll be on PC. it's gonna get bought to be put in a case. That's just the one thing that I started collecting. Like if you look right here, that is the gun from Gears of War, like full size replica gun on the wall that I can run up. I can grab that and bring it on over here. It's giant.
You can?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to grab it?
Yeah. Come on. We can go ahead and get right into it. Let's go. Holy shit. Oh, and it's life size too. Gotta have the orange tip on it too. Gotta have the orange tip on it too for safety.
Oh, when I get like curious about things like this, I got this.
Wow.
Yeah, if you look back behind me, you can't really see it, but right here, I was talking about that Evil Dead movie. In that movie, in the second one, the guy cuts his own hand off because he gets possessed, and he puts a chainsaw on his hand.
Okay, that's fire.
that's a chainsaw that I could put on my hand right now. That's made from a chainsaw, signed by the actor. So I could go grab that. I can put that on my hand and wear it.
Dude, that is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
This whole for anybody's watching, this whole background is loaded. Background is loaded. Because I remember the first time I found out about you was through, I think it was through Improviser. Either Improviser, okay. I think Improviser and Medusa. So he was showing your stream through like display capture. And I'm like, this dude's background is fucking I even told him, I was like, dude, this guy's background is freaking insane. I followed just off of that. And I think that was the first thing I said in your chat. I'm like, dude, your setup is insane, bro. That was the first thing I said off the rip.
Yeah, I don't, and everybody's like, dude, how'd you get your room to the way it is? I have been acquiring crap. I call it crap because I own it. Since I was 19 years old, if not earlier than that. Like, I'd have to look to see what the oldest piece in here is, but like I have strategy guides from the N64 back there that I just never got rid of. Because, dude, I have a strategy guide for Duke Nukem back there that my cousin let me borrow, and I never gave it back to him. Like, it's an OG. Like, I didn't buy it secondhand. I've just had it for that long, which is mainly because I have a problem throwing things out.
But
like, I had a Superman statue that was partially broken, and I was like, we could keep this. I had to break it more so I would throw it out, because in the back of my head, I was like, no, get rid of it. Like, when I tell you, like, so these are two, like, you see where the live nude sign is? That's a storage of like box, like most of the things you see up here, like this, I have the box for it, and it's behind there.
Oh wait, those are two doors, right?
Yes.
Wow. So anytime you need to get any of those boxes, you got to move like the little.
Oh yeah, I just had to do it the other day because I was like, when I tell you that in my basement there are 5 to 7 tubs full of more stuff that I just could not fit up here and had to put in storage.
See, that's what people gotta understand when they were asking you this question, like, how do you get your setup like that, dude? It takes, like, it's not just, I'm gonna go buy a bunch of shit just to have a cool setup. Like, no, it's like collecting things. They all mean something. They're not just there for display. Each and everything has a meaning. And also, it kind of means that we hate throwing away things, like how you mentioned, you hate throwing things away.
It pains me to throw away things. Boxes, like I have the box for my microphone in my basement. I just hold on to stuff just because in my brain, I'm like, well, if I ever go to sell it, the box adds some value and stuff like that. But I'm never going to sell this shit.
I think that same way too. Like I have like this headset I have the box for it too there for some reason. Why? I don't know. I look at it like I'm gonna throw this away, but then I look at it again, I'm like, let's just keep it. I don't know what possesses me to just keep it, but I always end up keeping it. It's crazy. We gotta hang it back. Dang, that is full on loaded stuff. Not a single thing there is straight just for show. Everything has meaning.
Oh, 100%. I just realized that my cord's long enough that I could have just brought you back with me. I just didn't realize it was that long.
I kind of realized that too, but it's all good though.
But yeah, like everything in here like is carefully placed because like there's limited room. So if it's in here because I want it to be in here. Like all the Funko Pops, I have a tote downstairs filled with Funko Pops. So if it's up here, it's because I wanted it up here because I did not want it in storage. Like, I don't even know which other ones I have up here. I have a couple of them floating around, but like everything up here is up here for a specific reason. Like
everything's calculated.
Yeah, it has to be. Like right to my right of me, I have my 2 PCs. I have my PS5 sitting behind this monitor. Like I still got to like finagle some things, but like literally everything up here is up here for a reason. And the craziest part is like I put stuff in storage, and like when I open that up and find it in storage, I'm like, it's like Christmas because I forget I even have it.
It's like tucked in the back of your mind, like, why have this?
Yeah.
Damn.
When I was at Pepsi, like I would go into grocery stores, and some of those stores were like Walmarts and Targets. On payday, Walmarts and Targets got some stuff that I might like. So I went through, I don't have any of them up here. Any of them. I went through a phase where I bought anything that seemed interesting. Like DC started coming out with these like Batman figures. And they were like, it was a McFarlane line. And like, I probably have 20 or 30 of them in the box downstairs, just in totes. And in the back of my head, when I was buying them 2 years ago, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy these so I can display them in my next game room. They weren't even for this house. They are for when we move into our next house. I am planning my game room in my next house is already in here.
That is crazy to think you have another room planned out for another house. We don't even know what the house is going to look like or how big the room is going to be, but it's already set in stone.
Fun fact, my gaming setup has been in every single possible location in this attic possible. Like, so, I have moved it.
Corners, like
moved
times.
It. Like, it's been in front of these doors. It's been right next to me in this cubby. It's been where it is now, but like this, there's a desk next to me. This desk was next to this one. It was over there. I tried putting it back against that wall. I have put this desk in just about every possible situation I could have. Like, I like it. I would have mental breakdowns about how much I hated this attic because I'm in an attic and these walls are slanted.
Yeah.
So with slanted walls, it limits how much stuff I can put where. So like, and like both my windows are on this wall. So this window is right behind this monitor, right behind the camera. I can't use it for anything because I have my stuff here. So that means this window is the one, and I have an air conditioner in 24/7, 365, nice. Because I'm up here. Like it gets hot. Exactly. Like heat rises, so whatever we have the thermometer set to downstairs, it's 10 degrees hotter up here. And then on top of that, I got a jet engine sitting next to me, and then I got a freaking car engine sitting next to me. And these things, I got all these electronics. Like it just gets hot up here.
Especially streaming with the light on, and man, it's
oh yeah,
holy hell! I remember there was one point because, by the way, what state do you live in? By the way, just for context,
Pennsylvania.
Dude, there was one day in this is Texas heat. It was like I'm pretty sure it was last summer. For some odd reason, the AC upstairs cuts off, right? And I'm telling everybody, like, guys, I can't stream, and they're like, no, just throw a fan in there. I'm like, I don't think you guys understand. It is not only is it like 70, it'd be like 78, like downstairs, for example, right? There was one day, it was 89 degrees upstairs. Are you telling me you want me to play Call of Duty, locked, focused, yelling? Because I don't just sit and just say, hey man, thank you for the follow. Like I'll be jumping up, I'll be dancing, jamming music. You know what I'm saying? I'm like doing that. Not only does it up like my room 10 degrees, it's already 90 up here.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, bro. I'm like, so when you say it gets hot, I'm like, bro, there's no excuse to not have AC, especially in Texas with the heat. Which, by the way, it's been getting hella hot recently, by the way. Completely off topic, but it's been extremely hot recently.
I actually, like, during my subathon, I had to take my air conditioner out of up here and put it in the bedroom downstairs and bring the big chunky air conditioner up here. Because I was like, listen, I'm just sitting there and I'm dying. So I don't care. Like, they're getting moved. I don't have it. Like, I have like
there's no option.
No. I like because like we're not even like in the dead of summer yet. Like we were still like end of June, early July, and I'm like, this is gonna be a problem. So I was like, I'm just gonna move this now because I don't want to deal with it then.
Exactly, because it gets to those. I think it's usually like the last like 2 or so weeks of July, or damn near leading into August, to where it's just like you can you could take a pan, you put it in your backyard, you come back 10 minutes, cooked eggs, like it's crazy.
Oh, 100%. Dude, PA gets like PA is like where you go if you want like Maine winters and like Florida summers. Like we get like there'll be times where we'll get 13 inches of snow, and then summer will roll around and we'll have 100-degree days. Yeah, it's like, and like speaking of Texas, I went down to Texas 2 years ago. I had a great time. The wife and I flew into Houston.
Nice.
So I went down for WrestleMania. They had it at AT&T Stadium for the Cowboy Stadium.
Gotcha.
But my wife's a big traveler. She likes to go places. So I was like, listen, I want to go to WrestleMania. She likes the live events, but she's not into it like I am. So what we ended up doing is we kind of compromised. If we flew into Houston, we went from Houston. I don't know in the order we went in. Whichever one makes more sense to you. We went from Houston, I want to say San Antonio, to Austin to Dallas. Or would I mix up San Antonio and Austin?
I would think, because Houston's here, Dallas is like here, San Antonio's like down here to like the left. It's kind of strange because you could do this in any order, to be honest.
Okay.
You could honestly kind of do this in any order, to be honest. I would even say what possibly might even make more sense is probably like Dallas, because it's sort of like the northernmost, and then you probably go like Houston, and then or like San Antonio, and almost like an L-ish shape, kind of.
Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah. All I know is that we ended in Dallas.
Okay.
And I went to I think it's called Terry Black's Barbecue.
It's in Dallas, right?
Yeah, there's 3 of them. I look it up all the time because I want them to be able to ship it, because it is like the Subway of barbecue. It is so good. Like you literally like walk in and they just walk, like you just go down the line and they have like the smokers behind them cooking. Like it's not fast food, it's legit barbecue, and they just throw that on your plate. And I'm like, we spent $100 on that plate. Wow. Well, we got a beef rib and it was $30, like that alone. But like,
man,
it was worth every penny.
I'm telling you, bro. Sometimes, bro, like that's the thing I love about food. It may be expensive. The second you taste it, bro, price just goes out the window.
100%.
You could tell me it's an extra $15 to stay here for each. You could tell me it's $1 per minute sitting here. I still won't care. Like if it's that good.
No, that's how I am with steak. I don't like. I'm like, ooh, this is an expensive steak. As soon as that touches my lips, I'm like, it's a free steak. I don't give a fuck how much it's going. In my brain, it was free. It's delicious.
In my brain, it was free. I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy it. Like when the bill comes, we're gonna sweat a little bit, but until then, we're gonna have a good time.
Exactly. Random off question though. Because I asked this on my stream one time. How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium rare.
A lot of people say medium rare, but it's like certain places I go to, if I see medium rare, it's too rare for me. It's too like red for me. I think it mainly depends on who cooks it, and if you've been there before, you're more familiar with it.
Oh yeah, no, there have been times where I order medium rare and it's a lot purpler than I want it to be. Yeah. So it's like I wish there was a spot between medium rare and medium. Like medium-ish or so. I don't know what you want to call it. Because like there are times when I order my steak and I'm like, it's still good, but there's a little more blood than I'd like.
That's usually why I go medium, or in some rare cases, medium well. Because sometimes sometimes I get medium and I'm like, all right, it's the perfect medium that I want. Sometimes I get medium well, it looks well done. Now I'm mad. Sometimes I get medium well, this looks medium rare. I don't know how the fuck this happened. But it's like, I always go medium because it's that like happy medium between two. Sometimes one time I got a steak medium rare. I was like, nah, y'all gotta take this back. y'all gotta take this back. I can still hear this cow. Like y'all gotta take this back. I can hear the cow. Y'all gotta take this back right quick.
The cut is literally pulsating. Can we figure this out?
Yeah, it's pulsating. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at his blood of it like, nah.
Like, is he still kicking back there? Like, I feel like you just killed him.
They just scooped the chunk out of him and just put it on the plate. I'm like,
100%.
Nah, bro. That is crazy. Dude,
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Favorite food? of all like if it's like you have any choice for a meal, what are you having right then and there?
This is so crazy that you're asking me this question because somebody asked me this yesterday and I just changed my answer just yesterday.
Okay.
Fried plantains.
Really?
Because I grew up Nigerian. Well, I grew up Nigerian. I am Nigerian. It's kind of stupid to say.
Yeah.
But it's like the way, like, because with plantains, right, they're basically just big ass bananas. That's how I like to call them.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like there's different stages of how they are. They're like obviously ripe, somewhat ripe, perfectly ripe, and there's borderline bad. But if it's not ripe, you can like cut them thinly, fry them still, salt. They're basically plantain chips.
I think I've had plantain chips before. It's been a minute, but I've had them.
I eat them so much; they're perfect. There's nothing wrong.
It's funny because like we're talking about them and I can taste them. I know what it's like a banana-ish taste.
Yeah, it is.
I can literally taste it. I know exactly what the texture of that chip is going to be and the taste is going to be. And I could not tell you the last time I've had them, but it's funny that we're talking about it. And I'm like, I know how that would taste right now. I just know.
Exactly. Because it's man, it's the thing is it doesn't matter what time of day you're eating. You can eat at any time of the day. Like I've had meals where my mom will make she'll make eggs and it's like the fried plantains are like your carb source. So it's like you got eggs, fried plantains. For lunch, with the way Nigerians do, we usually have like tomato-based stews, may have rice with it. You may have the stew, may have chicken in the stew, but then you have fried plantains with it as well. So I can eat that 3 times a day. 3 times a day. If it's perfectly ripe, I'm just like, bro, like it's like there were times where like my mom, the way she'd make it, like they'd be frying in a pan and she would always tell me, this side is hot, this is the cool side. You take from it didn't matter for me. It didn't matter how hot it was. I'm taking from both sides. And I'm just running off. I'll be eating it. I'll be walking around. I just burning my tongue.
It's so good. Ow, it hurts.
I'll be doing that so many times, man.
In the same vein of your favorite food, like what is your like not comfort food, but like your like makes you think of home kind of like just takes you back? Is it plantains too?
Plantains, and it's like basically like if it's perfectly cooked white rice. Then we got like the tomato-based stew with like obviously has like my mom likes to use habaneros, red bell peppers, she puts ginger in them, garlic, onions, all types of stuff in there. So if she adds that, possibly it can range from anything from like beef to chicken. Throw that in the stew with the fried plantains. It's just something about eating that on a holiday is just. It just brings me like, all right, look, it takes me back to when I was like younger and I'm like, all right, I have absolutely nothing to worry about today. It doesn't matter what, there could be a bear outside in Texas about to destroy this whole, it could be the cocaine bear outside, standing on 2 feet, knocking on my door.
You haven't seen The Dark Knight, but you're going to make a cocaine bear reference.
Dude,
what the
I haven't watched that either. I haven't watched that either.
I'm just saying. Homie's making a cocaine bear reference. The most obscure, ridiculous movie to come out in forever. But I'm like, Christian Bale from The Dark Knight. He's like, I don't know who that is.
I'm completely confused. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm terrible at movies, man. Look, I'm starting to fix though. I will be honest. So Shields, Mikey, if you're listening to this right now, I'm starting to fix it. I'm starting to watch like a lot of like older movies that I haven't watched. I'm watching Braveheart, like Radio. I'm gonna get roasted for this. I watched 300 for the first time like last week. It's crazy. W movie though. Crazy movies.
It's a W movie, but it does not age well. The CGI back, I remember seeing it in theaters with my dad, and then you watch it now, you're like, this did not age well.
Yeah.
Like that when the CGI was out, that was cutting edge. Like, do not get me wrong. Like, it's crazy. That movie's crazy. But you watch it now and you're like,
it's like, you gotta take it for what it is, So it's you know what I'm saying? I watch it, I'm like, dude, this shit looks so ass. But I'm like, you know what?
You're like, how much green screen does a movie need?
Yeah.
And the answer for that one was all of it.
The whole thing was green screen.
The whole thing. 98% of that movie's green screen. Even some of those dudes' abs were green screen.
It's crazy, bro.
It's a fire movie, don't get me wrong. Great movie. But they were like, how much green screen we got? They're like, we got this much. We're going to need a 200% more.
We're going to need, how much more do we need? Yes.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Can you get it? No. Figure it out and get it.
It was so much. And I'm like, it's so many scenes where I'm just like, oh man. I'm like, I gotta understand this movie was not made in 2023.
Oh yeah,
watching it in 2023. So just let's skip past the fact that whatever the fuck I just saw. Like,
but then it's crazy, dude, because like you'll go back and you'll watch a movie from like the early 90s, late 80s, and you're like, this is a good movie.
Some movies are perfectly like that. They're just still good.
Like you go back and you watch the old Batman movies, and it's like they don't need like the practical effects. Like there's no green screen really. There's none of that, and you're just like, this movie, like obviously it's dated. Don't get me wrong, but like it holds up.
Exactly. Some movies are just like that. They just hold that value no matter what the year is. Like,
dude, there is a scene in the 1989 Batman that so the Joker's in it. It's Jack Nicholson as the Joker. And in that, they play off that when he becomes the Joker, his skin gets dyed white. And there's just like a scene in it where it's like him. So his skin is permanently white, but then he has to pretend that his skin isn't. So he wears like, it's just no face paint, but like it's really, really hard to explain. But it's such a subtle detail where like, so technically his skin's white, but then they paint his face to make him look like he's normal. And then he goes to wipe off the face paint and it makes it look like his face underneath it is white. And it was just like just the subtle, like that subtle detail. I'm like, they didn't have to do that, but they did it. And it's one of my favorite things in movies because of a subtle detail that didn't have to be there. And they threw that in there and you're like, oh shit. Like it's just little things like that I like.
That make those movies just legendary, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because like they paid attention to every detail.
Nothing's so bad because sometimes like even like we're used to making our own content, so sometimes we'll see whenever we miss something in like a video, right? Like let's say we edit a video and we're like, damn, I forgot to take that out. Oh well. But it's like now we watch movies and we're like, they forgot to take that out in the movie, didn't they?
Oh yeah. Dude, there is nothing worse though than watching back your content and like watching you get killed and then you get killed afterwards. You're like, how did I miss that guy? He's right there. How the hell did I miss him? It's crazy. The shit that, and like there is nothing that pisses me off more than when you're like, and it's not that the person when let's say your teammates are in the gulag and they die and they're spectating you and they're like, there's a guy to your right, and you're like, how do I not see him? And they see him. But it's because you're focused dead center. They're looking all around.
Exactly.
And like for some reason, I'm like, dude, how am I like, like it's just crazy. Hey, when you watch stuff back, you're like, how did I miss this?
Dude, like I remember there was one time I literally, it was like, I think it was Fortune's Keep, knocked 3 people and I died to the 4th guy. And I'm mad because I'm like, no, where did he come from? And I'm like, Ranks, he's right fucking there. What do you mean, where did he come from? He's right there. Yeah. And I'm screaming at myself like, he's right there. And I proceed to hear myself go, where did he come from? I'm like, dude, I look like the biggest fucking idiot right now.
Dude, speaking of Fortune's Keep, RIP to like one of the best Call of Duty maps, and it had like a 3-month life cycle.
They permanently took it out too after it being there for not even a year.
It had the best color palette since Verdansk. It had, dude, I knew Call of Duty was going downhill when they took out one-shot snipers on Fortune's Keep. When the Car 98 was no longer a one-shot, I was like, Call of Duty's going downhill.
I'm like, and we're gonna have to go down this rabbit hole, bro, because it's like, what makes zero sense to me is people are like, oh, well, now you can get sniped from randomly out of nowhere. But I'm like, okay, if it really was a problem, why does it take for this long for you guys to drop this game, 2020, right? I think it was like March 11, 2020 when Warzone first dropped. So from that day till 2022, you guys then decide to say, I think snipers are a little bit overpowered. Why did it take you this? If it was that much of a problem, why'd you guys let it go for this long? Which it wasn't a problem, by the way, at all.
No.
So like, I think I don't understand what COD changed at all, bro.
I don't understand. Like, you have the game like Call of Duty that'll let the RPD be meta for like 2.5 seasons. And
RPK,
like,
by the way.
RPK.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's meta. And then like they're like, oh well, now we're gonna nerf it into the ground. Then it's like, but also we're gonna put in the next update, guys. RPD's getting nerfed, but we're including a semi-automatic barrel-fed shotgun. And it's like,
with fire bullets.
That's like there's no red flags that go off. Like, you don't immediately see that becoming meta. Like, it's literally the doof on steroids.
I think they just give themselves work, to be honest. Like,
I don't get it.
I think they give themselves work.
They're like, oh, also, guys, we're putting in a pistol that's fully automatic and it can hold 72 rounds. And it's like, you don't immediately see that in Ghost becoming meta? Oh, and they're akimbo. I'm like, oh, so I have 144 rounds in my pocket now? And that I can run around with?
Like, who's at the studio? Like, I've said this so many times. I'm like, okay, because there's guys that pull up to the studio in suits, and they're like, so some guy, he's standing up, sticking his hand, he's pointing to like a projector. He's like, all right, so look, I present you guys an idea, the Psychoff pistol. With this barrel, it's fully automatic and carries 72 bullets. What do you guys think? Everybody there in suits, $10,000 suits, they all say, yes, I think it's a great idea. And I'm like, so y'all collectively come together and think these are great ideas. You
forgot the point where you can run it akimbo and you're fast as fuck with it.
Bro, you move so fast. But you see, bro, you know how weird it looks from a third person point of view? Like somebody just walking around with these giant.
And you're just like, guess what? Sideways. You're like, oh, okay, man. Okay.
Sprays the shit out of you. Like,
I'll just go fuck off. You know, I'll just go. I'll go back to Minecraft. All right,
I'll just go to later. Lobby, man. I'll leave you alone, man. I'll just go to another lobby.
It's just like, in what world is a sniper rifle shot that I gotta like aim? Like, don't get me wrong, I am pissed off when I get sniped by a one-shot sniper rifle. I hate it, but it's part of the game. But then you got random guy number 4 running up the steps with a 37-round fire shotgun, and that's fine. But shooting somebody in the head with a sniper rifle with a one shot is too much.
When was the last time we saw a shot? I'm thinking, what game had I don't know, was there an old COD that had an AA-12 with an extended mag that was a drum?
That was Modern Warfare 2.
Like OG?
Yeah, Call of Duty, MW2, and if I'm not mistaken, you could akimbo them.
You can.
Because you could akimbo.
Or can you?
No, you can. Yeah, no, because that was the same game that had the model 1887s.
I know you could akimbo the Rangers and the models.
Yeah, I don't know if you you might not have been able to akimbo the AA-12.
I don't think so. No.
But the thing about that game is the shotgun could be a secondary. It was in the same list as the pistols.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Absolutely. Dude, I will never forget. I had whatever the highest badge you could have for the SPAS 12 because it was just ridiculous. I'm just like, I'm going to use this. It's overpowered, but I'm gonna use it.
The thing I loved about that SPAS 12 is that, you know, that little delay, like let's say you shoot somebody and you're like, I don't know if this shot's gonna hit. There's that slight little delay, and it's the boom, the one shot kill. It's like, oh wow, I got that kill. Oh, okay. Like, it's surprised you, like, oh damn, the range is that far.
Dude, Modern Warfare 2 is like the pinnacle. That I would put that in Verdansk, and like they're in there for different reasons. Obviously, everybody is calling. They want Verdansk back. They want Verdansk back, and Verdansk will never be what it was then, because like the map will be nice, it'll be nostalgic, but it'll never play the same. Because even if they put it in now with the current mechanics, it's gonna play like dog shit.
I think it'd be the worst map ever if they put it in now. It would be horrible.
But like we also got to realize that like Verdansk was like the height of pandemic. You're dropping in with your buddies. We dropped hospital. We're going hospital. We're just doing our thing. Like, one of my friends who I met during Verdansk's time is now one of my really, really good friends. Like, he was at my wedding. I met him on Verdansk. I had never met him before that. I met him playing Call of Duty. He was at my wedding. He was one of the 10 people at my wedding.
Wow.
I got married by Elvis in Vegas. He was one of the 10 people there.
What?
Yeah. And
like, those bonds you build with those, I'm telling you,
100%. Like,
those bonds you build is just, it's like, we're locked in, man. I
shit you not, like last year, me and the gaming community I was part of then, we rented a giant giant building in Tennessee, and 30 of us just went down to Tennessee for a weekend, and we're doing it again. We're doing it again in September. Like, it's a different community. It's more centralized, but we're all going to Tennessee again. And there's 30 of us, and we rented a house for 3 nights, and we're all just gonna go there. We're all gonna call each other by our gamer tags. That's what we know each other as.
That's so like that's crazy to think about, because those are going to be the only people. Like, so, like let's say your name is John, right? Somebody will call you, hey John, like, hey, how you doing? Somebody else, your gamer tags. Let's say your gamer tags, like, I got no Zarka bottle of water next to me. Let's say your gamer tags was Zarka. They call you Oz for sure. Somebody calls you Oz, you're gonna respond to it too. It's like you're responding to 2 names in person, but it's crazy to think like these are the only people that will ever call you by this name, and it would be acceptable. Like, it's
I'm gonna have people in public calling me Donkey, so it is what it is. Like, people are gonna be like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah, like you'll just be like a public place. They'll be like, "Yo, Donkey." I'm like, "Who the fuck is he calling a donkey?"
No, the only time that it was ever weird to me is like I used to my cousin and we used to do like little LAN parties. It'd just be 4 of us, me, my cousin, and 2 of his friends. But this is my family, my cousin. We go to GameStop and he goes, "Hey, Donkey," and I'm like, "I'm your fucking cousin." Like,
that's where we draw the line right there.
I was like, "You know my name."
Yeah.
You've known me before we ever did video games.
Exactly. That's when it gets weird.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, like it's fine, but like I mean, but like it's like we're literally blood related.
Exactly.
Like
that's when the line gets weird. Real quick, because I like that you said Modern Warfare 2 and like Verdansk were almost like head to head, because it's one of the questions that I have here. One of the questions I have here: your top 3 Call of Duties. Your top 3, not top 3 of all time, but your top 3.
Are we considering Verdansk its own standalone, or are we considering Verdansk part of 2019?
I would say Verdansk part of Warzone. I would say just count it as Warzone to me, because I would think Warzone counts technically as a Call of Duty because it's completely separate in terms of like the community, the different passions. Like, someone to get passion in Warzone, but not in like multiplayer. So
my number 1 is Blackout.
Now that's a first.
My number 1 is Call of Duty Blackout.
That's a first. Okay. Now, specifically why Blackout? I think you're about to explain anyways, but
I don't know. It was my first like real big battle royale. Like, I played a little bit of PUBG. Like, honestly, PUBG is how I got really into streaming. Because I would see clips of Dr. Disrespect playing PUBG, and I'm like, I only had an Xbox at the time. So like I couldn't play it, and I was like, I want to play this fucking game so bad, and I couldn't. And then PUBG came to Xbox, and then I played the hell out of it. And then like Blackout came out, and I know life for that game. Blackout is my be all end all. I would love to play it. I loved it. I loved the sniping, the guns. Black Ops 4 can suck my left nut, but Blackout is amazing.
Hold on.
No,
we throwing not the shot at Black Ops 4.
Black Ops 4? That game is the epitome of T-Rash. Dude, I don't know what you're saying. If you kill someone, like, there's too much health.
Okay, I will admit that health change was kind of crazy at first.
Their homie just comes around the corner and they're full health. You're not winning that gunfight.
Oh yeah. I would. No. And on top of that, people would have 150 health and body armor. Body armor.
That game can suck my ass.
If you say for the health reason, that's a valid reason, because it's kind of crazy how we went from what was before. We went from Infinite Warfare to Black. I think it was
dude, I don't even want to start going into the Call of Duty timeline, man. Like, it is so confusing. Like, just fuck. Like this is the first time since the first since ever that we've had 1, 2, and 3. No, wait, we didn't even have them in order, because after 1 there was Cold War and Vanguard, which can we talk about? Cold War looked like it was an Xbox 360 game. That game, one of the ugliest Call of Duty games ever made.
And people give it a pass because they say it was made in a year. But I'm like, dude, it still sucks. Like,
it gets a pass because some of the guns that came out of that game into Warzone were fire guns.
I always give a pass to those 3 games that had added guns to Warzone, just for that one reason. But that's
and then whoever the fuck at Activision who was like, you know what Warzone needs? World War II guns. Hold up. So you're telling me A PPSH from 1942 holds up against an M4?
But you know what's
How
weird?
are we making this work?
But you know what's so weird? That same game that makes PPSH just made a laser gun.
Yeah,
A laser gun. Like,
and then all the people who are like, and then they're like, all right, for our next game, we're going realism. And it's like, what do you mean? Choose a lane.
We're going realism, but now we can float in midair with heat vision. Like,
No, not until we give you a rat skin. Okay? And when Tim the Tatman's skin kills you, you turn into tacos.
oh, that was a funny addition. That was a pretty funny addition.
Hey, dude, I just don't like. I want to run it like this goes back to my way back when. When I played Gears of War, I had a rainbow skin on my shotgun because I wanted to kill someone and they'd be like, I just got killed by a goddamn rainbow shotgun. So when I play Call of Duty, people are like, oh, I don't like those bells and whistles. I'm like, I like that shit. Like, and
I
freaking
do.
dude,
I do.
fucking one of my favorite things about Blackout was last Call of Duty to do this. It didn't have it at the beginning, but at the end it had it. If you bought a skin for a gun, it worked on every gun. The reactive skin worked on every single gun.
Oh wow.
So if and dude, I had a sniper rifle that I was like, it would be like, hey, you got 10 kills? I'm gonna be a different color. Thank you for the reward. Like, my shit looks fire because I'm mopping the floor with these kids.
Rainbow Diamond, Dark Matter. I mean,
all kinds of cool shit. Like, and now it's like, and now they're like, oh, okay, cool. You wanna? I mean, you and I'm a person. I grinded out Damascus. I grinded out Orion. Like, it's cool. It's fine. Like, only reason I got Orion is because Warzone was so shit. I needed something to freaking do.
Something to do. My boy Snowful does that same thing. I'm like, bro, you might be a maniac for camo grinding, but it's like I kind of understand why, because what the fuck else are we gonna do here?
Yeah, I was miserable on Warzone, so I was like, I'll just come over here and give myself something to do.
Exactly.
So that's what I did that, and like, but then like it's also super weird because then they'll turn around and like they'll release skins that are cooler than that, and it's just like, and like I get it, you want to make your money, but like, why would I grind? And then not to mention, tell me when I'm telling lies, MW2, it's a camo grinder disguised as a video game.
That's literally all it is.
Like, and then they added ranked mode, which don't even get me started on ranked mode. I played it, I loved it, and then I was like, wait, this is it? We're doing these same maps again next season with these same guns? Oh, I'm out.
Dude, I'm gold too, and I ran into a platinum hacker. When I ran into, now I was diamond the season before. I've ran into a crim hacker. Makes sense. You're crims. You're kind of up there in the ranks. Maybe you kind of want to. I mean, it's not acceptable, period, but it's a little more anticipated because at least the stakes are a bit higher. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand. Not even understand. I don't want to use that word, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like I could imagine. I could see that happening. But dude, we're in plat gold lobbies. Why do you need to have aimbot? Like, why?
Dude,
and his whole team was hacking, as a matter of fact. Like, his whole team was hacking, as a matter of fact.
I don't understand hacking. I don't, like, you know, I will put this out there. I don't care what it's... I have bought hacks, and then I went to use them on Warzone, and it's like, you have to disable your firewall. And I was like, you can have my money. I'm not doing that. I bought them, and then... Because I was like, you know, I want to see how the other half lives. And then like they were because it was in Warzone. It was like when it was like peak of the Wild West. I gave them like I think it was like $10 for a week pass or something, and I was gonna do it. And then it was like, you have to take off your firewall, all your security, and I was like,
yeah, you got to disable everything. It's weird.
I was like, Mother Russia ain't getting my shit. I was like, nope, take my money. I'm not doing it.
Because I'm like,
dude,
man.
I bought a strike pack. I was
gonna have the thing on the back of your controller.
I think I threw it out. And then I realized I was using a scuff PS4 controller and it wouldn't fit on it. So I didn't even get to use that. I tried to hack and I couldn't. I tried to do it and I couldn't even figure it out. And I was like, you know what? It's not even worth it. Like,
you know, I'm gonna be very honest. In no way, shape, or form do I use aimbot wall hacks. I'm just gonna state that out there. But I will say, I thought about that same thing that you said. I wonder how this other half lives. Like, if we're just, I get on the game, I play, but it's like, what is it like when you play? Like, because it's crazy. I played random off the topic story, but back on Rebirth, I got a hacker on my team. Because I'm like, this guy we had like 30 people up. He had 15 kills, no loadout. I'm like, either this guy's Joe or he's hacking his dick off. So I ended up dying. And I spectated this guy, and it's the funniest thing. Because the second I'm spectating him, all I see is he has a light machine gun in his hand, and he's just spraying through a metal wall. And the second the guy hops through the window, he kills him. I'm like, that's how he has 15. How he has 15.
Dude, some of my favorite Verdansk moments, because you were, I don't know if you remember peak hacking in Verdansk.
Oh, yeah.
Peak hacking in Verdansk, because people just in the sky, just zipping on people. Like, dude, whenever I would spectate one, I would just start laughing because how outrageous it would be.
Dude, I forgot what his name was. There was a hacker I met. I forgot his name, but dude, this guy was like, and this is this the crazy thing, like how you mentioned with Verdansk, no spawn protection. This isn't Rebirth. This isn't Fortune's Keep. This isn't Vondo or Sheikah. There's no spawn protection. If you're in the sky, you're free game. This guy.
Oh, 100%. They wouldn't even see him, and they'd be zoomed, dead. And I'd be like, dude, it was like those were some of my favorite clips. It's like peak hacking. And the craziest part about it is like Call of Duty still has not gotten out of their own shadow from that hacking. Like they are still known for it.
Still known for it. Because they didn't really fix shit. Like, I'm be honest.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like the hacking's not as obvious as it was back in the day. But like, it's still prevalent, and it's just my what I want to know is like, I know like hackers are just like, oh yeah, we just do it to do it, but like, do you guys actually think you're good? Is what I want to know. I hate the fact that you said that, because there was a guy I played against on rank play. He was talking so much shit. And in the kill cam, he's shooting through walls. When you call them out for hacking and they defend themselves, and it's like, what are you doing?
There's a whole team defending him on top of that. I'm like,
oh, I know. It's like, what are we doing here? You know what you're doing. How are you going to defend yourself?
It was crazy, bro. I'm telling you, it is crazy.
How are you? What do you mean? Help me understand your mind. Because you're bad at gaming, and you need to spend money to get good at it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm good. I am average, but I am average to above average at Call of Duty. Like if we go, but like I can make some plays and I can hit some shots. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a COD god. I'm not. If you're coming by my stream while I'm playing Call of Duty, you're coming to be entertained more than you're here for the gameplay, and that's fine with me.
Yep.
But like.
And that's one other thing a lot of people pointed out as well with Blackout as well, because with Blackout it was like if you're on console, I think even on PC people didn't even I didn't hear like PC Blackout's broken or infested with hackers. Like console, there was the most somebody would have is like a strike pack, but by then it's kind of hard for people to really notice that. But it's just like with Blackout, it's just you die, I give them the respect, you give everybody the respect, you know what I'm saying? But it's like now it's like. You gotta look through every kill cam. You gotta watch everything, and half the time the kill cam doesn't even really fully give all the details. Sometimes they skip the kill cam, to be honest, which is crazy. But I did mention, because we kind of went off topic with this, you did say top 3 CODs. First being Blackout.
Yes.
Right. Second, what's the second? Second and third.
Blackout's number 1. Second's gotta be. Just because of, I don't think the genre would be where it is in my brain without it. It's got to be OG MW2.
Nice.
That was probably one of the Call of Duties I played the most, and I played it on PS3. I was the first person, because that was back in the day where you could hack to 10th prestige, and I was the first person on my friends list, which in hindsight is not a good thing, that got the 10th prestige legitimately. Like in hindsight, I was so proud of myself, but like now that I think back, I'm like, oh, you just didn't do anything. You didn't go outside, you got over to school, you played Call of Duty. That's what you did. And I was like, yeah, that's what I did.
But at the time, it's like, I got 10th prestige, you feel like you're the man, you know what I'm saying? At the moment, it's an accomplishment. But then now it's like we look back and we're like, holy shit, I did not.
You want to hear a Call of Duty hot take?
What's up?
Black Ops 1 and 2 are not good games.
1, I accept. Black Ops 1, the only reason why I accept Black Ops 1, because that game, I'm not gonna lie to you, is pretty broken. Like, yeah, fundamentally, it was a decent game. Like, it had great guns, maps, campaign was great. It introduced Black Ops Zombies, we got King of the Toad, and that's cool. But mechanics-wise, it was very, very fucking connection-based. And it was pretty fucking laggy a lot of the times. Like, if you were lagging, the game was impossible to play. So that's why I accept Black Ops 1. Now 2.
Oh, I got a third hot take for you.
You know what's so crazy? Medusa's so excited right now, bro. He says the same. He thinks the Black Ops series is overrated. So I mean,
I thought the gunplay was terrible.
I think 2 is different for me. 2 I could defend till I die. I'm sorry.
Like 2, the guns were good, but the gunplay was terrible.
In certain cases, it was pretty laggy. I will be honest.
I will give you another hot take. Modern zombies, overrated.
In 2?
And just in general, as a franchise, Call of Duty Zombies is overrated.
I think you might have just started a war. I'm not gonna lie. I think you might have just started a war.
There is nothing more annoying to me than spending an hour and a half getting all the way up there, and then you die, and then your friend's like, "Oh, you want to go again?" I was like, "No, I don't want to pull out a pistol after I just had a super gun." What makes you think I want to go back to a knife and a pistol? My gun was just shooting laser bullets, and I was throwing exploding monkeys at zombies. Now you want me to go shoot them with a pistol for an hour and a half to get back to where I was?
Nah, that is pretty depressing. I'm not gonna lie.
To go back on what I said earlier, I'd rather staple my balls to a wall. It's just like, they're like, "Oh, you want to do the Easter egg?" And I was like, "Oh, so we can get to the last step and die? Oh, I can't wait to do that.
Dude,
let's go do that."
Man, no. I used to wonder how people would spend hours and then they get to the Easter egg, they die, and they're like, "All right, let's do it again." What do you mean do it again? You spent 2 hours doing it.
My favorite is all the comments. "You're just bad at the game. You just don't want to play it." I'm like, no, I just got better shit to do. And to shoot at zombies for an hour and a half, get my super ultra mega gun, like, yeah, they're not gonna kill me. And then I get stuck on a wall and die. And I'm like, oh, cool. So you're telling me I can go back and kill him with a pistol again? Can't wait.
Yeah, then when you respawn the next round, you gotta hope your teammates can pull through to the next round. And then you start the next round with a pistol again. You gotta go. And the thing is, like, for example, like Origins, for example. Let's say you die with like a staff. You gotta go back down. You gotta do the whole heeba-jeeba to go get the staff again. And then you get the staff again. If you die, you gotta do the whole cartwheels to get it again. Then you gotta get all the colas. You gotta drink the speed cola, the juggernog, the everything. Like, man, like.
And then I'm just sitting there and they're like, "Oh, you thought the gunplay in Black Ops 2 was bad? Hit your shots, kid." And I'm like, I don't like. It's so weird that like just the community around Call of Duty has gotten so toxic. Gaming as a whole is in such a toxic place right now. Like I played Apex when it came out. I was into it. Warzone has ruined.
I think it was a ruined COD. I'll be honest. That's my hot take.
Warzone has ruined battle royales for me because being able to get your loadout, like Apex, I have to build my gun. I'm like, what? I don't. Just give me the thing. Give me the thing, because if I'm gonna lose my gunfight because someone has better attachments, go fuck yourself. I want to lose the gunfight. They have they got better armor than me and they got a better RNG. Cool, but battle royales are the best and the worst thing to happen to gaming.
At the same time, it's crazy, but it is.
Best and worst thing to happen to gaming. It's the best because like it's such a cool new concept, but it's the worst because if you come out with a shooter and you don't have battle royale, your game's fucking dead on arrival.
That's what everybody says. Like, no battle royale. But I'm like, why can't the game just not have a battle royale? But now it's to the point where it's like we're so accustomed to having a battle royale every game.
Like that Defiant. I'm sure it's a great game. They have no plans for a battle royale. I'm sure your game will do just fine, but you know what it won't do? It won't be Warzone. It won't be Call of Duty. And like you're gonna have your player base, but it's not. If you would have been like, we're coming out with a battle royale 3 months after, you could take over the landscape right now because Call of Duty has no competition.
No.
Oh, Apex.
It's not.
Apex is they're down bad right now. Like Battlefield, you fumbled the bag. You had every single opportunity to just take over, and you're like,
every single.
You guys want World War I? No one ever wanted that. No one ever. No one ever was like, you know what? I want a muzzle. I want to I want to pack my bullet, and I want to poof. Oh, cool. An hour and a half till I can shoot again? I can't wait. No, no one ever wanted that shit. No one. Battlefield 3 and 4 are two of the best shooter games ever made. Mm-hmm. From guns, from maps, from vehicles. And then you're going to be like, World War II? No one wants it.
No one ever really wants World War II, guys. Well, that's the main problem. I don't think is there ever sort of coach off, but I don't think there's anybody out there that's saying anything besides World at War, possibly for like their top 3 CODs is ever like a
World at War. I will never forget it because World at War had the bouncing Betties, and when you'd step on them, they'd blow your body to shit. And like when I saw that, I was like, oh. Mm-hmm. But to this day, I will tell you, I hated the guns in World at War because you didn't get fully automatic, so you got that STG at the end. That and the PPSH.
Man, no fully automatic guns. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that.
But I didn't do a 3 yet, did I? I did. It's Blackout, MW2 OG, and then
third. It's entirely up to you when it comes to the top 3. So
I know, and I'm trying to think, and like Black Ops 3.
You know, I'm at least the BO2 slander's forgiven just because BO3 is my favorite game too, multiplayer wise. I love that game. I just love. There's something about that. I don't know what they did in that game, but it's just I love everything about it.
I think it's because they had the jetpacks in it, and it didn't take over the game. Like it was part of it, and it wasn't the main focus of the game.
Exactly.
It was a mechanic in the game that didn't make or break your gunfight. You still had to hit your shots.
That's the thing, issue, bro.
Is when you got to Advanced Warfighter, Infinite Warfare, where they had the exos, and it was like those were like you were going up, you could go back, you could go side to side, like that's was your movement.
That's Advanced Warfare before Black Ops 3.
Yeah. That like I will say, Advanced Warfare Zombies. I liked that one. I liked their zombies in that game. Mm-hmm. Just because I like to have the movement there. I enjoyed that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was that the jump and everything, there was nothing like the gunplay, the abilities, the jumping, nothing overshadowed something else. Mm-hmm. Everything worked
That's the thing
together.
I love about it. Everything. Because like how you just mentioned, it was because you could have different play styles. You could be the guy who is great, who's just a great Call of Duty player, but you're fundamentally good. You could shoot straight. You don't have to jump around. You could be the movement guy who loves wall running, boost jumping, all that stuff. Or you could just be the guy who likes sitting and camping. You could do all 3 and be perfectly fine with it.
And like that's the thing. Is like you go back to if you played Warzone and you did not slide cancel, you were fucked.
Yeah.
Like that mechanic was necessary.
It was. It 100% was. Like, there was no
don't get me wrong. You could be fine, and you do fine without it. But, like, you were not going to be S tier.
Couldn't be.
Like, and that's the thing, is, like, you get to these point that, like, you need to have, like in my opinion, like, that's kind of a bad game if I need to do something in order to be good at the game. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's weird, because, like, I did it, and I liked it, and it's fine, but that doesn't mean it's a good game. Like, I loved Warzone and everything. Mm-hmm. And, like, I understand what they were doing with Warzone 2 when trying to, like, take out the skill gap. But they failed miserably.
I think they went too far doing it.
They did. They
went too far doing it.
The issue is any, like, as long as you have the meta guns in your hands, it's a viable gunfight. I don't care if this is your first Call of Duty or you're a veteran. Like, it's a viable, winnable gunfight as long as you have the meta gun, and like, because like there's some mobility. Don't get me wrong, but nothing game breaking. Like, it's bunny hopping at best. Yeah,
and then besides that, it's just, and even with, like, what every attachment you put, like, there's so many. Like, you ever picked up a gun and you're just like let's say you're shooting, maybe your gun you have is out of bullets, or maybe you just landed in and you're just trying to pick up a gun and start fighting. There's nothing worse than picking up a gun and And you're like, dude, who the fuck made this class?
Oh, dude.
You
land
made
in,
this class?
You pick up a gold gun. It's got no underbarrel. It's got a 30-round magazine. It's got a stock, a thermal scope, and a bipod. And you're like,
the flying fuck is this?
did Helen Keller build this? What are we doing here?
Nothing is sufficient about this gun, bro. I'll be like, dude, there's no way somebody like actually put this together and said, yes, I'm satisfied with this.
And then it's gold, and you're like, wait.
Yeah, you've been using this whole time?
Like you've been like, so like this is you decided that you did not need an extended mag. You needed a bipod on the front. You wanted this motherfucker to have a muzzle suppressor, like no suppressor. You want loud. You want people to know you're here. You got the short barrel on it with the bipod. You got a thermal and a stock.
Like every attachment contradicts itself. Like what is this whole class, bro?
I mean, it's fine, but it's not. Like
it's fine, but it's not at the same time.
I mean, you do you, but like I don't want to hear this game's trash come out your mouth because you're gonna say it, and it's not trash. You just I don't know what the hell you built. I don't know why you let Picasso build your gun. But like, this ain't it.
It's not it at all, man. It's so many instances where I run into that, man. It is. Is anybody watching this? Fix your Warzone class subs. There's YouTube. There's Google. You build something decent. Carry on, like, cause I'm like, bro, if you're there's certain guns that just don't even need to be like seen on the ground. Like if I see it on the ground, I'm like, bro, I will literally turn on proc chat. Like, bro, who the fuck left this here on the ground? Whose good is this, bro?
We're not saying you got to use the builds that Call of Duty Online's telling you, but like you're gonna use what's for comfort. Like if you like a different underbarrel, that's fine. If you like a different scope, that's fine. You don't need to be running thermal on your SMG.
I think they're just trying to make it difficult. Like it's to the point where it's not even like I don't even see. Okay, like in certain classes, it's like okay, I can see why you use this, but in this case, it's like no, you're making your life harder doing this. Yes. I don't know why. That's the craziest part. That is the craziest part.
Like there are very, very few guns that you don't need to put an extended mag on. If you're running an AR, it better not be 30 rounds. If it is 30 rounds, I want to know which attachment on this gun you decided was more important
than this extended mag. Yeah,
because I can guarantee you it's not. Like if you have like the people that are like, I got a stock on it, I got a rear grip, I got an underbarrel, it's like, bro, the gun's only gonna get so accurate. If you needed to make it that accurate, you're the problem.
Yeah, exactly. You're the problem, bro.
Like I don't mean to be a dick, but like if you need that much recoil control, either choose a different gun or you work on pulling the trigger, pull the stick down.
Pull your right stick down. We'll be fine.
Just work on some like you don't need that much. Like it's not the gun.
Now, real quick. I gotta ask because we're close to the end. Not fully at the end, but we're somewhat close to the end. So I do want to ask, right? Because like how we just mentioned earlier, you did a whole 50-day subathon, which is still fucking insane to me that you did 50 whole days. 50 days is still crazy. Do you have any other additional plans, like in terms of like big projects? Like I want to do like another challenge or like a series of content ideas. Do you have any sort of plans we have for the future?
When it comes to that, I wish I was better with that kind of thing. Like I usually don't like. I will like literally come up with an idea and be like part of my subathon. At one point, I was like, "Yeah, if we hit 1,000 subs during the subathon, I'll get a tattoo that chat picks." And I just say it on the fly. And at the same time, I said, "Hey, if we get to this amount of subs, I will wax my taint." Yeah, that happened. That happened on stream. Yeah. See, I say a lot of dumb shit that gets me in trouble. So like, I'll be like, they love to watch me play scary games.
Oh no.
I am a bitch. And I know that. And they're like, oh, we'll play this scary game. And like, I know watching me play a scary game is good content.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I want to play the scary game because I shit my pants. Like, I have a list of TikToks. I have one of me throwing my headset across the room.
Oh, God.
I have one, like, I bought a VR headset.
Oculus?
Meta Quest. Whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
They have set I don't know what, I just know that it's weird.
we
I
just
put it
got
on.
one.
I put it on and I was like, oh, dude, I couldn't understand it. I had the controllers in my hand and they were like, there's a desk in front of me. And I was like, I'm gonna set these controllers on this desk. There wasn't a desk there. I threw them on the ground. Like, dude, I'm sitting there. There's like a tether ball. I'm punching the tether ball, and I'm in the world. And then I punch the shit out of my hanging title metal. Like, I'm gonna be like, I'm buying a green screen. We're gonna do like whole, and I'm gonna be playing horror games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to wear brown pants because I'm gonna poop. Like, there's gonna be poop.
It's bound to happen. I'm
gonna fall over. Like, something's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But like, well, when you're saying, going back to it about like events and stuff, like I got my birthday's coming up here in less than a month. I'll probably do like a birthday stream.
Nice.
But like when it comes to these events, man, I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I just, like, people are like I'm like, oh, 2,000 followers is around the corner. They're like, what are you gonna do for it? And then like, it'll be the day I hit 2,000. I'm like, I have to do something.
Like, I have to do something. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the subathon, I planned it 2 weeks out maybe. And I didn't start doing stuff until like a week of. Like, I didn't plan for it to go as long as I did. Because like, I have like one of those wheels that you spin. Mm-hmm. Like, when I tell you, one of the things on the wheel was a cream pie. That's the exact thing I wanted as a reaction. And basically, is what I would do is I would take a can of whipped cream, I would put it on a plate, and I would smash my face with it. So that was one of them. Another one was an ice bath. I have never taken
an ice bath.
Yeah, so I didn't know what to expect. I just put it on there because I was like, so, but it wasn't really an ice bath. It was me like pouring ice water down me. I've never done that.
Oh.
It's my least favorite thing in the world. I was so cold. I was like, I don't even know how to react right now. This is the coldest thing I've ever done. I don't know. Like, I don't. I like. There was that. There was. I did those Bean Boozled.
Oh.
Yeah, I am sick of them. Because it would, dude. The worst one was fucking stink bug. I can still taste it. I still know the taste of stink bug.
Oh, that's gross.
Like, dude, there was a whole like bunch of things. There will. I think I still have it written on the freaking thing.
You're good. Oh wow, we got it out.
I still have it. I had sour candy, wax strips. Dude, 25% of my body was hairless.
That is crazy.
Dude, at one point I had like here, my belly. I had like patches on my legs. Like, just random ass. Both my armpits were done multiple times. I had to do my makeup. I had nail polish.
Oh, this subathon got wild.
Yeah, like that was the most of it. But like, dude, like, I went through 3 cans of whipped cream within the first 2 weeks.
No, that's crazy.
And then I was like, God, when we hit 2 weeks, I was like, guys, I'm done. This beard is like from like I started growing my beard and my hair out like right before the subathon. And I was like trying to upkeep my beard. I was like, guys, my beard is sticky 24/7. My hair is just jacked up. Like I can't cream pie myself anymore. Like I'm good.
That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy.
I was like, they're like, oh, you're no fun. I was like, I don't want to hear it. So then what I started doing was like every 5 subs, I would do the Bean Boozled. And then the one day I spilled them all over the floor and I was like, well, I'm not doing that anymore. Yep. And then toward the end, I was like, guys, I'm in this chair. That's about as good as we're going to get. Like, I'm not a dancing monkey anymore. I'm a robot that's sitting in this chair that's just dying a little more every day.
Yep. Man, dude,
there were some bad days with that subathon. There was one day where I came up here and I just sat in this chair. I didn't play a game. I was just zonked. I just sat in this chair in Discord and talked to people all day. I was like, why do you guys want me to do this? What do you gain out of this?
Around what day was that?
I don't even know, but it was like probably like it was like 2-3 weeks in. Man. And I was like, why? And I just sat here for 9 hours and I was like, is this the content you guys want? Like,
hey, people literally will watch that. It's crazy to sound. Like, people, like, if they enjoy you, like, your genuine self, like, they could watch you for like hours.
Dude, I slept on this floor for the first 10 days of it. I inflated an air mattress and slept here for 10 days.
What?
Yeah, the only reason I stopped doing it is because my chat told me to go downstairs and sleep in my bed. I slept on stream on this floor on an air mattress.
What?
Yeah.
Man, okay, now I gotta ask, cause a lot of people out there, actually, my boy Biggie's playing a subathon too. Actually, do you have any? Cause this is one more additional question. Do you have any sort of advice for him? Like, cause he's like, all right, I'm starting a subathon. If somebody came to you and was like, Donkey, I want to do a subathon. What do you think? Do you have any sort of tips or anything, any additional piece of advice you can offer? Cause you went 50 days.
Go into it with zero expectations.
Got you.
And don't expect it to end. If you expect it to end, you're going to get let down. I got to 5 minutes left twice. And they bumped it back. The one time I got to 5 minutes, and then by the end of the day, I was at 100+ hours. So never, like, if you're like, tomorrow's my last day. No, it's not.
Nope, it's not.
Don't like, just... And honestly, like, I think it's like a military phrase, embrace the suck. Because if you're gonna go a while, you're gonna have bad days. Like, if it wasn't for my Discord community, like, they got me through it. Because, like, I hung out with them in Discord while we just kind of played games together.
Shout out to the community, man. Shout out to the community.
Yeah, a huge shout out to the community, 100%. Like, just embrace the suck, man. Like, cause, like, in theory, a subathon sounds like it's gonna be a great time. But, like, once, like, there are going to be humps, dude. There are, like, it ruined my sleep schedule. Like, my sleep schedule is chalked. I'm up until, like, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning every night now. And I'm trying to fix it right now.
Holy shit,
just trying to get, well, when it ended, I didn't want to not be on stream when it ended.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended at, like, 11 a.m. So I stayed up through the night for it to end. And then that chalked me. That was the final straw that just chalked it.
Man.
But when it comes to a subathon, dude, just embrace it. Don't be afraid to give people, like, reasons to, like, if I would, like, I guarantee you they would probably give me shit if they were like, you didn't follow the actual subathon rules. Because, like, I occasionally would do a thing called happy hour, where, like, for this hour on this Friday, everything you gift is doubled time wise. So if you gift a sub and it's supposed to add 5 minutes, it now adds 10. It gives people incentive. You know?
It gives them an incentive to keep going some more. You feel me?
Yeah, like, don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to just kind of have fun with it, because, like, at the end of the day, you're sitting in a chair. So just like, do stuff like that. I had a throne wish list that I did, and I was like, if you buy me something off there, it's X amount towards the time. If you buy merch, it's X amount towards the time. Dude, I sold more merch during my subathon than I did during ever. I also came out with new merch that should not have sold as much as it did.
Whoa.
It was literally a t-shirt that just says, milk me till I'm dripping. And I sold a lot.
Like, can we get like a rough estimate of, like, when you say a lot?
Like, I sold probably between 10 and 15 t-shirts.
Yo, that's
that just
crazy.
Say, milk me till I'm dripping.
It's about 15 people walking around right now with them shirts
between a shirt, a hoodie, and a hat, and stickers. I've sold probably like 20, 25 items that say, milk me till I'm dripping.
Man. Hey.
Yeah, and that's because, like, I have this Go XLR, and I just fuck around with it. And for all of the things that I say, all the dumb shit that I say, for some reason, milk me till I'm dripping is the thing that stuck. And now I was like, I guess everybody I gotta make it. And everybody's like, dude, it's hilarious. And I'm like, you actually want to wear that outside? Because I'll make it if you want to wear it outside.
Whoa, I'll make it. We'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do. I went right to my guy, and I was like, hey man, can you do this for me? And he's like, I got you. And I was like, okay,
we'll let it
you guys
fly.
want it. Here it is. And then they bought it, and I was like, what the fuck?
Well, we ain't complain about it, man.
I was like, of all the stuff I put in my merch, I was like, I have just DonkeyStyle, like I have color, like I spent time. I was like, okay, this color logo is gonna look good with this shirt, this, that, and this, and then I put this pastel colored pink milk me till I'm dripping. Everybody's like, you son of a bitch, I'm in, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Let it fly.
It's the dumbest shit that just gets traction and goes.
Exactly, man. That's how it is, man. So the last question I do have, because this question sort of just leads into like extra episodes of the podcast. So if you had to name a couple people that you would want to see on this episode or on another episode of the podcast, it's another episode. I don't know why I said this episode, but if you had anybody you could recommend to the podcast, who would you recommend? If they're like, yo, this would be a great person to see. If I was to get back in the podcast, this would be a great person to have on here. It could be multiple people too as well.
I would say one person that I would like if I ever could do a podcast. There's this guy that I know that I would love to do it with. His name is he actually just changed his name. It's Mike Check.
It's Mike Check.
Yeah, he's on Kick.
Okay.
He's a Twitch partner that switched to Kick. I recommend this man's stream to anyone and everyone. He's one of the coolest. I've met him in person. Mm-hmm. One of the coolest, humblest guys I've ever met. He's one of the few streams that I can just put on and just watch. Mm-hmm. Like, I know as a streamer, I'm supposed to be like, I don't watch that many streams. I'm behind. I'm trying to work on my stuff. Like, I don't get me wrong. I pull up the homies. I check in on them, here and that and the other thing. But like, Mike Check, it's Mike Check. Mm-hmm. I would definitely recommend him. There's a guy, Vincent Page, VYNCENT PAIGE. Mm-hmm. He's one of the people who, if it wasn't for him and his community, I don't think I would be where I am today.
Wow. Shout out Vincent for that.
One of his mods, her name is Ham Pamwich. I was streaming on Facebook and she came into my chat and was like, you look a lot like this guy. And then ever since then, him and I have been super cool. Met him in person.
That's
like
fire.
I'm from PA, he's from Tennessee, but we've met and like I consider him one of my good buddies. Definitely recommend him because he's just not your typical dude. Like he calls himself a beta male. Like he just calls himself that. Like he's just and he's just not your typical guy. Mm-hmm. But like he's awesome for it. Like he's super cool. Like he's super down to earth. He's go with the flow. He's just super chill. Mm-hmm. And give you two more. I'll give you Hidden Mystique.
Okay.
She's one of my mods. If it wasn't for her, my stream would not be where it is. Like she is like the be all end all when it comes to mods.
There's some influential people you name, and I like that.
Yeah, like if I would ever lose her as a mod, my stream would we'd have a problem. Like she handles a lot of my behind the scenes shit that I'm not 100% sure how it works. Mm-hmm. So like if she would all of a sudden cease to, I would be like, guess we're spending a week figuring all this out, maybe more. Yep. And then after that, I would say I got a buddy who's been through some shit, seen a lot of shit, in and out of the military, stuff like that. And I just think from just a life perspective would be a good talk. And his name is, I gotta see how the hell he spells his name because there's a lot of M's and C's in it.
Got you.
It's Mac MC. It's MAC MCC 53, I want to say.
Hold on, she said MAC
MCC 53.
Got you. Mac MC. Okay, got you. So we got Mike Check, Vincent Page, Hidden Mystique, Mac MC.
Yes.
Got you. The reason why I asked is mainly just because, like how I mentioned earlier, one person has a great experience, and how you had said, if you were to have a podcast, I want to see this person on there because they're a great conversation, or maybe opening them up, maybe you want to know more about this person. That may be like a great addition or a great person to have on the podcast. That's usually why I asked that question, because it also leads to more episodes as well. So
yeah,
it was like that never-ending flow of new episodes. You feel me? So
100%. I get it completely.
For sure, for sure. So I will be very honest, even though it's a great talk, I did run over. I ran over my time limit. I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't matter because I laughed a lot today and I learned a lot today, and I definitely need to watch some more movies. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm still on the search for that. Shields, Mikey, if you're listening right now, look, I'm working. All right, I'm doing my best. I'm fixing it. But that wraps up this episode of the One Shot Podcast. We have my boy DonkeyStyle today. Donkey, where can they find you on all your platforms? I know your Twitch is DonkeyStyle.
Twitch and Kick are DonkeyStyle. YouTube is DonkeyStyle. TikTok, I believe, is DonkeyXStyle because somebody has DonkeyStyle, you son of a bitch. And I believe those are the main ones. Like I have Instagram and I have Instagram. I have Facebook, but that platform can just eat a bag of dicks. So the main ones, TikTok. I'm gonna make sure because
go ahead real quick.
Yeah, I think it's DonkeyXStyle because that one son of a bitch who was like, "I'm gonna take your name." Oh, I lied completely. It's DonkeyStyle TTV.
There we go.
That's gonna happen. Yeah, DonkeyStyle TTV on TikTok. Twitch is DonkeyStyle. Kick is DonkeyStyle. That's the gist of it. I'm a variety streamer. I play all kinds of shit. I don't play Call of Duty anymore because game's trash. Fuck Call of Duty. We don't play that. But like right now, we've been playing GTA RP and Diablo. I got a shit ton of games in the pipeline. If you like vibing out and dance parties and smoke machines, stop on by.
Hop on one of the streams, man. Hey, and once again, to everybody who is listening, make sure you guys also check out Team Havoc Studios on all of our social platforms as well. Team Havoc Studios on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook as well. Definitely check out our TikTok page as well. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys as well go check out my boy Donkey on every other one of his platforms. He might do another subathon. We might see how long that one goes. You never know. we might break the 50-day record. We never know. I don't know. That might be kind of crazy if you break another. If you go past 50 again, that might be crazy.
I'm probably gonna do it every year.
That might be crazy.
I'm gonna do it every year until they last a year. Yeah, like,
dude, a 365 day, dude, you would be like, you just be there like
the longest one ever is currently ongoing. She's at like 554 days. Oh, no. She said she wants to end at 2 years.
I would just end it at one point. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'll just be like, look, I know you guys put all your money in here. I'll refund you guys if that's the case. I'm out of here.
I'm out.
I'm out of here, man. That's crazy. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of the One Shot Podcast. We will see you guys on the next one. We're out of here.
Later.
Peace.